Hello. So, once again, I say this a lot. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a while. I thought this was a good time since Halloween was this past Sunday and Thanksgiving a few weeks away. But yeah. Today we're going to talk about, well, over the years there have been many snack foods that have come and gone, like they'd be discontinued for one reason or another. And there's always like memes about them and stuff. And then, of course, here on YouTube, there's a I'm trying to mix dozens and tons together. There's tons or dozens of videos of people like talking about discontinued snack food and stuff. Mostly countdown videos. Like I know Watch Mojo has done quite a few of them. So I thought I'd like to do one myself. Like I said, I've been planning to do this for a while. And because that's the thing, in recent years we have seen some of them come back, like Planters cheese balls and Dunkaroos, Oreo O's cereal, Fruity Doritos, which aren't really the same, but that's the thing with these returning snacks. They can be like kind of hit or miss. Like the Planters cheese balls taste just like I remember. The Dunkaroos they're still pretty good. The cookies aren't exactly the same, but overall it's not bad. It's better than nothing, we'll put it that way. But there's still a lot of others that we haven't seen return that I would like to. Some that come to mind for me are, well, the first one I've been saying for years is Butterfinger Bbs, which were Butterfingers, like little ball-shaped, but yeah, they were little ball-shaped Butterfingers. It was so good. I loved those things. And the only thing I always hated about Butterfingers is that, like, whenever you eat them, I mean, I love Butterfingers, but whenever I eat them, it's like they get stuck to your teeth so badly, and, I take good care of my teeth, but still, it's just like, it's kind of a pain in the ass. You have to keep, like, picking at your teeth while you're eating a Butterfinger, but yeah, Butterfinger Bbs. I love those things. And another one that's kind of similar to those, because Butterfinger Bbs came out in the 90s, this other thing came out in the 2000s. I think they were called Bites. And it was like there was three of them. There was Reese's, York Peppermint Patty, and I think Almond Joy. And then I remember they made another one, which was Kit Kat. Those ones were my favorites. And this was the same thing. They were like little round balls, although the Kit Kat ones were more like cubes. But again, yeah, it was funny. I love Reese's, but I wasn't crazy about the Reese's ones. Almond Joy ones, if that's what I remember, it was pretty good. York Peppermint Patty, I never tried because I've never really liked those. I'm not really a fan of mint candy. Where was I going with this? But, oh yeah, and then the Kit Kats, like I said, were my favorite. But supposedly, the Bites, and I think it might be the same with the Butterfinger Bbs, I don't know, but supposedly these were discontinued because people choked on them, which the only way I could see that happening is if maybe somebody took like a handful and just crammed them all in their mouth, which, I'm just going to say it. So this great snack food was discontinued because some people were being stupid. I mean, like when I would eat those things, I'd probably eat like one, maybe two at a time. Like I wouldn't go like, that's the only way I could see somebody probably choking on that. I mean, maybe a few other things, like if they do that classic thing where you throw them up in the air and catch them in your mouth or whatever, but whatever. I think it's time for those to come back. Either or, like both the Bites and the Butterfinger Bbs. The next one, it's not really a food; it's more of a drink. But if you're a '90s kid or '90s baby, whatever, I'm sure you remember these. Fruitopia was basically this sugary fruit drink which had kind of a kick to it. And, it came in a variety of flavors. I throw on a blank on the names of them, but a lot of them were really good. God, I remember when I was in junior high back in like 2001, 2002. Because it's like from fall to spring or whatever at school, or fall to summer, whatever. I remember, in junior high in the cafeteria we had a Fruitopia machine, and I used to always get one on Friday for lunch or for part of my lunch. And I remember They had like signs and stuff that said like, no taking drinks out of the cafeteria. I used to always do it anyway. Pretty much everyone did, because well, a lot of people did anyway. But because it was like those things, those bottles out of the vending machine, they weren't cheap, but they weren't expensive either. So it's like, I paid pretty good money for this. If I don't drink it all in my lunch, I'm gonna take it home with me to finish it. But yeah, that's another thing I would love to see come back. And that's another one that I've seen a lot of people talk about. The next one is a 2000. I think this was early 2000s. I think it was like Philadelphia Cheesecake bars. Not Philadelphia the state, Philadelphia the company that makes the cream cheese. And it was like these cheesecake bars, which, well, maybe you've heard of them, maybe you've seen them or remember them. It's like, it was like basically like the layer graham cracker, then it was like the cheesecake thing, and then it was like some jelly, and then like some frosting and stuff. And those things were so good. I love those things. And then another one that was from the early 2000s was, I forget what they were called. They were like these Lunchable snack things, like, because Lunchables, like, there's the two different kinds. So the ones that come in like the little plastic case that's like, it'll be like the, it's like the pizza or the nachos or the crackers and cheese and ham and stuff, or like the chicken nuggets or whatever. Then there's the ones that come in the box, which is like one of those things, as well as like a Capri Sun and a little snack-sized candy bar. But I remember they had ones that were like, it was just like a little snack thing that came in those little plastic cases. Like there was one was a brownie that came with like chocolate frosting that you could, and sprinkles that you could put on it, and the other one, and I remember there was like a s'mores one that had like the crackers and the melted marshmallow and like a chocolate bar and stuff. Like, it might have been like one or two others, but those are the ones that I always remember. The ones that I always loved was the brownie. Like, and I feel like a lot of people don't remember those things, but they were delicious. I know I'm gonna say that a lot in this video. And then, what was that other one I just wanted to... Yeah. Next, move on to Keebler. There's actually two that I want to talk about. It's funny. One of these, I've always remembered. Like, it's always been in the back of my mind, but I feel like a lot of people don't remember them. The other one I had actually completely forgotten about, but a lot of other people remembered it. Like, and that's like actually how I remember. I was like, oh, I forgot about those. Well, we'll talk about that one first. The one that I had forgotten about, and everyone else pretty much remembered and reminded me. Those were, I forget what they were called. I think they were called like Fudgefuls or something. But basically, they were these, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Bulky, soft baked chocolate chip cookies with like this fudge filling. Yeah, like I said, I think they were called Fudgefuls, and the other one were called EL Fudge, like Butterfinger Blasted, which pretty much everyone is familiar with EL Fudge cookies. Like the elf shaped sandwich cookies with the chocolate frosting in the middle. But these ones had like the chocolate frosting on the sides. It had Butterfinger frosting, like or filling, fudge, whatever, and then it had like the chocolate, like, was like glazed on like the inside of the cookie. So it was basically like the cookie, then like chocolate, then the frosting, then like the cookie and the frosting, or chocolate, excuse me. And it was funny, I remember, because my brother always like loved Butterfinger too, and I was like, oh, like I said to him, like, you gotta try these things. Yeah, he wasn't crazy about it, but I loved them. Yeah, that's one I feel like a lot of people don't remember. Like, lastly, let's end it with cereal. Well, there's one that I've always wanted to see come back, even though I don't eat as much sugar cereal as I used to as a kid. One that I always loved, especially back in the 90s, was Waffle Crisp. It was like that waffle cereal, flavored cereal thing. That stuff was delicious. And then I'll end it with this. Well, it's gonna be kind of a dragged out, like, yeah. You know how, like, probably since the 80s, there was like always like gimmicky cereals for like TV shows, movies, video games, etc. And it kind of sucks that a lot of time, well, pretty much always, these are limited limited edition items, because sometimes they're really good. Obviously, like, once the hype dies down, they, don't sell as much, but there were ones that I, like, that were so good that I wish they could just, even though it wouldn't really make sense to sell them now, because, like, it's like they don't buy them except for, like, me and maybe some other nostalgia people, but, or maybe if they want to introduce their kids to it or something, I don't know, but, there's two that come to mind. One was, actually a few years ago, was the Mario cereal that they made for Super Mario Odyssey. It was kind of like Lucky Charms, but the cereal pieces were berry flavored. It was actually pretty good. Like, I got it like a number of times. Once I noticed that wasn't being, once people like stopped scalping it, it was like overstocked and stuff, and it was like easy to find. Like it was. It's not like, I guess you would say not a lot of people were buying it, so I was like, well, I'll buy another box here and there. Why not? And the other one, which came out in the early 90s, was for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I shit you not, there was a cereal for the 1993 Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie. I remember my cousin used to get it all the time, and whenever we went over there, I was like, can I have a bowl of your cereal? It was kind of like Cap'n Crunch. Like, it had like that, it would have like that same, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, like texture maybe, or like same, yeah, it was like the same concept as Cap'n Crunch, kind of like it was the same, what the hell is the word I'm looking for, design, I don't want to say like, well, you know what I mean, like Cap'n Crunch, it's like those little yellow corny things, like that's pretty much what it was like, but they were shaped like arrows, and they had like these little green sprinkles on them, and it tasted a lot like Cap'n Crunch, but it had a little bit more of a zip to it. That cereal was really good. It was funny. You can actually find like the commercial for that cereal here on YouTube. You can even find pictures of it online, and it's one of those things you don't really notice as a kid, but like now as an adult, it's like you do notice it, like, whoa. But that is, well, let's just say like I said, the cereal pieces are arrows. They look like a man's package. We'll just leave it at that. Cereal is delicious, though. But, yeah, so those are just some of the ones I can think of, like snack foods from the past years that I would love to see make a comeback. What are some that you can think of, like, that you would love to, classic snack foods that you would love to see come back? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.